الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم الذي أرسله رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليثير على كل دين يثير على دين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا. ثم ما بعد. After we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord who has sent Muhammad ibn Abdullah indeed with the religion of truth and that which is guidance for all mankind. Inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala, we ask Allah for His guidance and for His, inshallah, His tawfiq, His success in completing this series on Nuqtat al-Sawm by Sheikh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen. A brief look penetrating the issue of fasting. Can somebody mute their phone? Inshallah, jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu fikum. The last place we left off, as I'm doing this class in two different places, on two different times. The last place I believe we left off with this sitting, we were talking about those people who are the musafireen, those who are traveling. I think someone still has their phone on mute that I can hear, like some brushing or something. Please mute your phone, barakallahu feek. The one who's traveling, the ulama they mentioned, this means that person has left their town. We mentioned this before. Left their town, their city, their village. But here it really means town, like, the city. We don't have villages in America. You have to be abroad to see this example. But everyone understands a town or city. Town or city, and this also sometimes includes the outskirts. Like, for example, if a person was in St. Louis, my hometown, and he traveled to Ferguson, the place where Michael Brown was killed by the cop. Nasallah and yahdiyahum fi hadha al-bilad. May Allah guide those people in that town. Ameen. This will still be considered being in the town of St. Louis because it's only the outskirts. It's only 15 minutes away. And you are still in what's called St. Louis, but you're not in the city limits. You're in the outskirts. The same way if you're in Barakallahu Fikum, Durham, the city of Durham in North Carolina, and you go to Durham County. You're still inside of Durham, as Durham County is an indication that Durham owns this part of the region and district and the land, except you're not in the immediate city. So when we talk about traveling outside of the town, then we mean that person has actually left that, not only town, but it could be the county that he lives in. He left the county. If a person is living in, for example, Essex County in New Jersey, because they have many Essex counties. They have one in Pennsylvania. They have one in this place and that place. We take New Jersey, for example. Essex County includes Newark. It includes East Orange. It includes West Orange. It includes Barakallahu Fikum, West Cardwell, and on and on and on, for those who know anything about New Jersey. So if a person was to travel from Essex County to Bergen County, then this would be clearly he's traveling. Or he travels from Essex County to Passaic County, then this is clearly outside of his town and outside of his county. So this is an example of traveling. So the Sheikh, he mentioned those type of travelers, which he called them Ashab al-Sayyarat, Ashab yani Hujra. Ashab mean the people. Sayyarat, the people who they deal with vehicles. Hujr means like you're driving that which has like cargo, like 18-wheelers. You have like something inside of something. So this is what they call the hujr. Like they call hujr where you live in an apartment or where you stay inside of a flat like this. So the Sheikh is mentioning for the people who travel, the rulings concerning those people. And he divided them, showed him into two parts. He said the ashab al-sayyarat, sayyarat, bid-dawam, ashab al-hujr. This means they're always going. This person drives 30 miles every day. That's his job. And we mentioned before, for him it might be difficult that he's going 30 miles and he can't drink. His guy used the bathroom. He can't put back. It's hot. And he's away from the comfort of his home. And so all of these things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by His mercy, has allowed for that person who's outside of his locale, who's traveling outside of his town. He can't see his town or city. He can keep his fast or break his fast. But now we mentioned, Barakallahu Fiqh, for some clarity, if that person is just going like for 1 hour or 2 hours like this and coming back, he's going to be home all day, then wallahi, we don't say that he should break his fast. We mean he's traveling to this place. He's going to be at that place working the duration of the day, or most of the day. Then khalas, this is for him a safar for that day. He's traveling, so he can keep his fast or break his fast. If it's from the people who they are traveling inside of the town, inside of the city, they go from the house to the airport. They go from the house to the downtown. Then this can be considered safar. This can't be what's known in Arabic as the word safar. This is dhahab. He's going. And dhahab can be from your house to the neighbor, from your house to the masjid, from your house to the jami'ah, to the college, from your house to the mustashfa, the hospital. But safar, this includes the leaving of your town or your city. Now, so Sheikh mentions that. ثم قال إن كان السفر الطويل نعم إن كان السفر الطويل كالعمرة. Now, if it's a long travel, so he's distinguishing between travel and long travel. Now, سفر طويل, a long travel, you will have to stand in the airport, you have to go through customs, you have to go through security. That in itself is طويل. Ala anfusina. It's a lot on the individual. I'm tired. Oh, I've been standing. It's hot. I'm thirsty. Khalas. So Allah has given you the ability, because of all of those inconveniences, you can keep or break your fast. Now, and then the Shaykh, he mentioned, if it's from the people that are those who travel every day, ashab al-sayyarat, because some people think if you're not on a plane, then you can't say this is traveling. Or you're not going that far. La, it doesn't mean because you're not going 12 hours away, 10 hours away by car, or you're not on the bus or a train, for 20 hours. You're not on the mega bus, for a day and a half. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You're not on the Greyhound with people drunk and smelly alcohol and the toilet stinking. No, this is not the only meaning of travel. And if a person leaves his town, leaves the city, and he's going to another place, even if it's on a regular basis, and he's going to be in that place, then this could be considered for him travel. If he deems it's travel, then he has the ability to keep or break his fast. Now, to keep or break his fast. Hakala. Then the Shaykh mentioned, Barakallahu Fikum, the issue of those who break the fast. And he means purposely, because we already mentioned those that break the fast on ignorance or forgetfulness. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, رَبَّنَا لَا تُأَخِذْنَا إِن نَّسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا. Naam. Say, oh, our Lord, don't hold us accountable. Meaning, don't write it down as a sin for us and don't punish us if we forget or we do something akhta'na. What is akhta'na? We're having this discussion today in the tafsir class in the masjid here. And there's a difference between ma'asiyah, which is from the word asa, to disobey. Ma'asiyah, the thing that the person does that's wrong, and akhta in Arabic. Ma'asiyah, someone doing something sinful, wrong, and akhta, someone doing something wrong. What's the difference? Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He said about Fir'aun, وَأَصَى فِرْعَوْنَ الرَّسُولَ وَأَصَى فِرْعَوْنَ الرَّسُولَ وَأَصَى فِرْعَوْنُ. Fir'aunu is the one who's doing the action. Fir'aunu. Everybody knows Pharaoh, time Moses alayhi salam. What Allah say about him? Yani, وَأَصَى. And he disobeyed. This is past tense. Ya'si will be present tense and future tense. Ya'si. Allah said, Asa, past tense. Who did the disobeying? Fir'aun. And what happened? He disobeyed who? Rasulah, the messenger that came to him, Musa. Then Allah said, فَأَخَذْنَاهُ أَخْذًا وَبِيلًا. فَأَخَذْنَاهُ. This fa in the Arabic language is showing the reason that that person is going to be punished as a result of the thing that he did. So Allah said, وَأَصَى فِرْعَوْنَ الرَّسُولَ. He disobeyed the messenger, Fir'aun. What happened? Thus, because he disobeyed the messenger, what did Allah say? فَأَخَذْنَاهُ أَخْذًا وَبِيلًا. So we seized him by his forelock. Now, punished him, as Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala mentioned. So here, what's the point? This is ma'asiyah. When you disobey Allah, you do something wrong knowingly. Knowingly. As Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said, اذهبا إلى الفرعون فإنه طغى. He said, go you to Musa and your brother Harun. Go, Moses and Aaron, to Fir'aun. Because he has went beyond all of the boundaries. He's broken all the rules. He has disobeyed extremely. Go to him and tell him about Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. لعله يخشى أو يتذكر. لعله يتذكر أو يخشى. Because maybe it would jolt his mind. Maybe it will serve as a reminder for him. Maybe he will come to his senses and he will stop because of the punishment that he fears from Allah. Now, so he knew, but he disobeyed Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. This is ma'asi. طيب. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بين هذا كذلك لما قال إنما طاعة بالمعروف. إنما طاعة بالمعروف. Indeed, obedience is in ma'ruf. This word ma'ruf has a lot of meanings. What's meant here by ma'ruf means something that's known to be of goodness. It's known to be from what's right. Khair. So Prophet ﷺ said, إنما طاعة بالمعروف. إنما is you feel al-hasr, as the ulama they mention of lugha, the scholars of the language. To say innama means something that's definite and it's in the box. Mean, well, absolutely this thing is the case. There's no exception. There's no clause. No, it is as they say what it is. Allah said innama ta'a bil ma'ruf. Indeed, verily, ta'a, obedience is only in the good things. As if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's prophet is saying, ta'a la yakun illa bil ma'ruf. That obedience cannot be except in the things that are known to be good. إنما طاعة بالمعروف. Why did the Prophet say that? He said, ولا طاعة بالمعصية الخالق ولا طاعة لمخلوق ولا طاعة لمخلوق بمعصية الخالق. So first he said, إنما طاعة بالمعروف. Indeed, obedience is only to be done towards things that are right. You cannot obey in something that's wrong. And then he went and he clarified again. He said, لا طاعة لمخلوق. You cannot obey the creation بمعصية الخالق, with something that Allah has told you that is wrong. So you can't say, okay, well, and just do something for the people that's wrong while you know that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has made that thing sinful. So this is ma'asiyah. As you can see, the Prophet ﷺ is saying the opposite of what's ma'roof is ma'asiyah. The opposite of ma'roof, meaning the good things, is ma'asiyah, sinful things. And the obedience can never be and that which is other than ma'roof, because the opposite of ma'roof, meaning the good things, halal things, things that have your best interest, things that bring you benefit, is ma'asiyah. And the Prophet ﷺ, he also mentioned there's no obeying someone in that ma'asiyah, which is the opposite of ma'roof, which is obedience and goodness to the creation, while you are still going to be disobeying the one who created all of you, al-Khaliq, the creator. So here, this is the ma'asiyah that Fir'aun suffered, that the people will suffer. Now, and then you have akhtar. As Tabarak wa Ta'ala said, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا. This here أَخْطَأْنَا. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, His Prophet, received this verse in Surah Al-Baqarah. It is the last verse in Surah Al-Baqarah. Iqra'u in shitta barakallahu fikum. Read it if you like. Al-Tabaraku wa Ta'ala didn't tell us to say that to Allah if this is ma'asiyah. Because ma'asiyah, you have to make tawbah from. وقد اختلف وقد ماذا اتفقوا العلماء على أن التوبة من كل ذنب ومن كل معصية واجب على كله. And the scholars, they have mentioned that it is an obligation to make tawbah from every wrong thing, every sin. So why would Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, if akhtar in this verse is the same as ma'asiyah, tell us to say, oh Allah? He's teaching you to ask Allah. And remember, this is ibadah because Allah has commanded you something. And He doesn't command you with something except He loves it and that He's pleased with it. Hakada? Yes, like this. So Allah said, Rabbana la tu'akhidna. Rabbana la tu'akhidna. Oh Allah, do not take us to task. Do not punish us. Do not give us a penalty in this life and the hereafter. In nasina aw madha aw akhta'na. So the word akhta'na here, it means something is wrong. We say an English mistake. But Prophet he said in the hadith, which is collected in the Sunan of Ibn Majah, وهو حديث حسن, قال إن الله تجاوز إن الله تجاوز عن أمتي النسيان والخطأ وما استكره عليه. إن الله تجاوز إن الله ماذا تجاوز نعم عن أمتي النسيان, to be punished for what you forget. That's the first thing Allah said. In nasina, this is nusyan. You forget. And the origin of this word anas comes from nasiya, those who forget. That's why we forget by default. So here the Prophet said nusyan. That's the first thing Allah mentioned, the verse of Surah Al-Baqarah. Now, forgetfulness. So Allah has already forgiven you for what you do out of forgetting. Now, and this is if the forgetting is not tied to sin. Somebody drinking, he forget his wallet, all his money in it. That's a sin on him. A'udhu billah. Somebody, mashallah, tabarakallah, go out and they get high and party and mashallah, tabarakallah, he bust somebody in the head and he wake up in the hospital and he doesn't remember anything. He forgot all of sin he did. Somebody, wallah musta'an, they forget they leave the stove on. Damn near burn the house down. Allah musta'an. Somebody else forget. And he leave the firearm on the bed. The baby get it. Pull the trigger. Shoot itself. All of these are sinful. This is ghafla. This is negligence. This you will be punished for. But we're talking about normal things that the human beings do, that anybody could do. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Sina, Naam, if we forget. And this is the nusyan the Prophet mentioned the hadith. And Allah had tajawaz an ummati an nusyan. The first thing which you do through forgetting. The second thing the Prophet mentioned, that which we're talking about, the difference between ma'asiyah and akhta. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala's Prophet said, that which you do on mistake. And Allah had tajawaz an ummati an nusyan wal akhta. Naam, what you do from akhta. So akhta, he is a person, he thinks in his mind and he feels in his heart that this is the right decision. This is something good. And this could include being misled. And he does it. But then he finds out later that was wrong, that wasn't right. Then that person has akhta. Akhta. Meaning he did something wrong with an intention to do something right. And not like the one who did something wrong with the intention to do what's wrong. Now, so here the Prophet said in Allah has jabs an ummati al-nusyan ماذا والأخطاء نعم والأخطاء is when you do something wrong but you intend on doing what's right. You didn't know. Or you were trying to do something right and you did something wrong out of being tired or whatever, like this being, weak or whatever, but your intention was to do what's right. And the Prophet wants to alayhi, and if you're forced to do something, this doesn't include zina. Hayakum Allah. But say, Akhi, I had to make zina was hard. A'udhu billah. Hada la yajuz. Yani barakallahu fikum. We're talking about something that you have no other way, and the Prophet gave you a way other than zina. He said, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَعَلَيْهِ بِالصَّوْمِ نَعَمْ فَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَعَلَيْهِ بِالصَّوْمِ. Whoever cannot get married, which is the solution for not making a zina, then I command you, I leave you with fasting. So you cannot say, I had to make zina. It was hard. No, fast. As the testosterone in a man, mashallah, tabarakallah, has different levels. 360 over a million in the ratio of the man's body. And if a person does not eat, if he suffers from ju'i, hunger, then this testosterone, which is the thing that produces ragbali jima, which produces the desire for a man to have relation, it becomes very little. And that's why from the revelation of the Prophet, as the Prophet did not speak from his desire, he said, فَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَعَلَيْهِ بِالصَّوْمِ. Now, so when we say mastukra alayhi, he's forced, that means somebody's going to kill you and to tell you, you have to denounce your Lord. Al-Tabarak wa ta'ala mentioned this. Al-Tabarak wa ta'ala mentioned this in the Quran. He mentioned this fact. إِلَّا أُكْرِهَا وَقَلْبَهُ مُطْمَئِنٌ. Except the one who he disbelieves on his tongue, hating it, while in his heart he's firm upon belief, iman. إِلَّا أُكْرِهَا إِلَّا أُكْرِهَا وَقَلْبَهُ مُطْمَئِنٌ. So this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sometimes the issue if someone is in a place, all they have is pork. We know this. And brothers love pork. A'udhu billah. I've heard like the brothers front. We don't eat pork, but when they go to the sijin, man, they be getting the bologna sandwich from the guy in the next cell, and mashallah, they do their thing. And they say, well, you know, I was forced. Now, you ain't forced, pal. They give you some bread, water, they give you pork bologna, they give you some applesauce, they give you some like carrots. Khalas, eat the carrots, eat the applesauce, the bread. Tajana biyani hadha kinzir. Leave the pork alone. But they try to use self as force. La. This means you're in a place and everything is pork. And you've been drinking water, but now you need some food. You know, it's like, you know, if you don't eat, you're going to get sick, this, that, and the third. Everything has pork in it. The bread, the cookies, the salad, the meat. Allah musta'an. Then you take what's sufficient for you and that's it. These are examples. You're forced. Now, you have some people, they say the fact that we're in America, then you can take a riba. We're in America. Everybody's doing it. There are some fatwa like this. A'udhu billah. So everybody's able to choose if he wants to be homosexual, bisexual, or lesbian, or transvestite. We can choose that too, because this is in America. Everybody can choose his religion. He wants to be Christian, Jew, atheist, fire worshiper. He wants to be Muslim, so we can choose that too. Nah. But some people, they pass this fatwa. In America, so you can take riba ala tul. While tabarak wa ta'ala said, فَأْذَنْ بِحَرْبٍ مِنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِ. Be warned of war from Allah Azza wa Jal. And during the time of his messenger, for those who take riba. Nah. Tabarak wa ta'ala said, يَمْحَقَ اللَّهُ رِبَا وَرُرْبِتْ صَدْقَاتِ. Allah has cursed riba, made it sinful, and blessed that which is from charity. Nah. Tabarak wa ta'ala likened the one who deals with the riba, the one who massa shaitan, like he's been touched by the devil. So how can you say we're compelled? But then this hadith, mastukra alayh, which you're forced, if a person has too many children, nobody will rent to him, or he's facing eviction because they know he's over the occupancy, then this person, if he doesn't have the ability to rent something that's suitable, or it's too much for his income, and the only way he can make it is to buy something on riba, then this is an exception for him because this mastukra alayh, he's forced. But just because we're in America, just because everybody's doing it, just because it's the thing to do, no. So all of this, we mentioned all of this benefit from the word akhtar, because of Tabarak wa ta'ala mentioned this akhtar in Surah Al-Baqarah in the Sina al-Akhtarna. If we make a mistake, as the Prophet said, al-nusyan wal-madha wal-khata, wal-nusyan naam wal-khata, naam, that which is forgetfulness, and that which you do on mistake, meaning you intend to do right and you do something that you didn't know was wrong unknowingly. And of course, once you know that thing is wrong, then you don't go back to it. Hakada. So the Shaykh Muhammad Salih Uthaymeen, he mentioned this verse to show if a person eats or drinks nasiyan aw jahilan, then he continues his fast. There's a difference of opinion between the ulama. Some of them say when you do that, you still have to make up that day that you ate or drank on forgetting or out of ignorance, although you complete your fast. Prophet he mentioned, Man akala or sharaba nasiyan fayutimmu sawmahu fa inna Allah at'amahu wa saqahu, or kama qala. In the hadith in Imam Ahmad's Musnad and the Sunnah of Abi Dawood, he said, whoever eats or drinks forgetting. We know this will happen in the first few days of Ramadan. Somebody who's normally eating at a certain time is going to eat or drink and say, oh, subhanallah, fasting. Well, that person may be drinking and eating. If he's at home, his wife might say, subhanallah, baby, you're fasting. Then he continues his fast. Now, he continues his fast, although he ate a drink, forgetting. وهكذا إذا كان ناسيا أو جاهلا. And this is the same whether it be on mistake or ignorance. For example, a person doesn't know that it's Ramadan. He's waiting, he's looking, he's waiting, doesn't hear anything. He didn't hear that anybody spotted anything. And we have one more day to go in Sha'ban. One more day. He goes to sleep, he gets up to Fajr, he didn't hear anything, he's eating at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Then he gets floods of emails and texts. Ramadan is today, people started praying last night. He didn't know. So for him, yani barakallahu fikum, he himself can't keep his fast. He can't complete his fast because he didn't start. So for that person, he has to make up that day. And there's no sin on him. Like Abdullah ibn Abbas, he was with the people in Sham. And when he returned back to Medina, they had already started fasting. But they hadn't started fasting in Sham, which back in that time would be considered Syria, Jordan, Palestine, like this. And this is one of the things that can make someone's Eid on one day and other people Eid on another day. The narration didn't reach them and they didn't see anything to indicate that it is fasting. But if a person starts fasting and he forgets, or Wallahu musta'an, he does it on ignorance. For example, a person, he thinks it's time to break the fast. He looks outside, and we're in a country where you don't hear the adhan. And everybody doesn't have an adhan on his phone or his computer. But he looks and says, okay, the calendar says 5:45. But he looks at the wrong date. He thinks he's looking at today. He's looking at a week from today. He breaks his fast. Then after that, he talks with someone, or someone informs him that the fast has not been, the fast isn't over yet. That the sunset is not until maybe another 10 minutes or 11 minutes. Then for that person, he continues his fast. He continues his fast because he broke his fast on ignorance. And we said again, some ulama, they mentioned that person, he owes that day. But Prophet ﷺ said, for yutimmu sawmahu, let him continue his fast. He didn't say let him make up his fast. Let him continue. Allah at'amahu wa saqahu, because Allah, He is the one who gave him out of His mercy and His wisdom, out of His mercy, and His wisdom, the food and drink. Allah decreed it for him as a charity. There's also an opinion about that. If that takes place, a person should throw up, put his finger down his throat, and throw up the food that he ate on mistake. But this is from a madhab, from the madhab of Imam Ahmed. There's no text for this. As the Prophet ﷺ said, continue your fast. Severely, Allah gave you food and drink. So if Allah gave it to you, why would you gurgitate it? Why would you spit it up? Where's the sin? Where's the harm? So this is a position of the Hanbali madhab, and Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala's command us to follow that which is clear to us from the text. We respect our scholars of the past and the present, وَلَكِنْ مَا فِي دَلِيلَ عَلَى هَذَا قَوْلٍ. But there's no statement of evidence for that position. Then the Shaykh at the end, he mentioned things that break the fast. The first one he says, Jama' fi nahar Ramadan, the one who purposely has relations with his wife in the daytime of Ramadan. Purposely. We mentioned that. Barakallahu fikum. And for that one, he has to make up that day. And for him, he has to tahrir raqabah, free a slave. There's no slaves to free, then that person must fast 2 consecutive months. He must fast 2 consecutive months back to back. He cannot break them up, split up the days like the 6 days of Shawwal. No. Where you get 6 days of Shawwal, either together or broken up. No, he has to do 2 months back to back. 2 months back to back. And then you have Barakallahu fikum. Can somebody mute their phone, please? Barakallahu fikum. And then you have the one who eats or drinks purposely. That person breaks his fast, but he doesn't have to do the kifara. As I missed something with kifara here. He first frees a slave, If he can't free a slave, or he's not in a place where slaves are, where he can free them, or it doesn't exist, then he fasts 2 consecutive months back to back. Shahrain mutatabi'ain. Month, and then the next month together. And if he can't do that, because everything is built and based upon ability and fairness, then he has to feed Sittina Miskina, 60 needy people. And we said you just don't throw all the food in one pan, one plate, one tub, and take it to the masjid and set it down. You have to make sure that each one of those people eat, they are from that category. Now, they are from that category if you try to feed them in a group. Now, and then the Shaykh, he mentioned, Barakallahu fikum, istimta' biyad, aw bi mubashira, aw bi taqbil, aw ghayr dhalik, the discharge of sperm. Whether it's someone having enjoyment with the hand, which we say masturbating, or if it's whether he's with his wife, but they're not doing intercourse, but they're doing some actions that will make him discharge sperm, then or make her discharge, then in this case they broke their fast. They have to make the day up. It's a sin on them, but they do not do the kafara. And some people have the mistake that, well, I'm not doing intercourse, so I can do this in Ramadan. La. Because we understand intercourse means you enter the person with the into the furuj, you enter the private with the private. So people play a game. So, well, I'm not doing that. I can do this. It doesn't break my fast. Yes, it does. Any purposely discharge, any purpose, with the private parts that will make you, ejaculate the khalas, you break your fast. You are in sin, you have to make up that day. But there's no kafara like the one who enters the wife private part. You also have the issue, barakallahu fikum, of inhalers. Where a person has asthma, I said it's permissible for him to take something. In that case, it does not break his fast. The same thing with brushing the teeth, using things that freshen the breath. It is permissible to gargle, to brush. Nah, it does not break the fast. To put water in the mouth, because the person's mouth is very dry, it's permissible to gargle, but he shouldn't, hold his head back and not like that. He should just put the water in his mouth, wish it around, and he spit it out. And they also mentioned if some goes down the throat, then it doesn't break his fast because everything goes back to his attention again. He completes his fast. The issue of eye and eardrops. Any medication by eye or ear. Even if you find a little taste or residue in the throat, they say that it doesn't break the fast because the origin of eating and drinking comes from the mouth. Therefore, anything that enters through the eye or the ears, then in that case, or even the nose, if you find something of a taste, continue your fast. وَهَكَذَا بَارَكَ اللَّهُ فِيكُمْ. They mentioned the issue of those things such as the injections that have no nutritional value. No nutritional value. We mentioned like a person is itching very bad and they have to get a cortisone shot to stop the itching. That which is like a Benadryl shot. This has no food substance of value to it, like someone taking insulin if they have sugar diabetes. So that type of shot that has no nutritional value doesn't break the fast. Your juice, permissible. The one that has food value, it breaks the fast. Nah. And also they mentioned wabarakallahu fikum, the issue of hijama while fasting. Hijama while fasting. And they say that you shouldn't do it. Although there's some hadith of the Prophet he did it, which is the Chinese cupping in the month of Ramadan. Know that the hadith in Bukhari shows that they were traveling. As the origin of that, you have the ability to choose to break or keep your fast. أَمَّا الَّذِينَ فِي بِلَادِهِمْ وَمُقِيمًا فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْهِمْ حِجَامَةٌ فِي صَوْمِ رَمَضَانٍ عِنْدَ صِيَامِهِمْ. And for those who are local, they're at home, they're not traveling, then it is not for them to get the hijama in Ramadan, because anything that may lead to breaking the fast, such as dehydration, purposely throwing up, or losing something such as large amounts of blood purposely that may cause you to have to break your fast, then that thing in itself becomes haram. Al-wasila ila shay fahuwa mithluha. Al-wasila ma yusilu ila al-haram fahuwa haram. that which leads to something, that which connects or makes it easy for you to do what's prohibited, then that thing, those steps in itself becomes haram. Do not come near intercourse, then this rule will apply towards anything else that is prohibited, such as purposely breaking the fast. And lastly, the Shaykh mentioned, وَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ فِيكُمْ Madang, if a lady is on her mens and she comes off, or she's bleeding after childbirth and she comes off before Fajr, then it is for her to fast that next day, even if she has not bathed by the time Fajr has come in. She should not get confused. Well, I didn't bathe, so I can't pray, so likewise I can't fast. La. فَلَهَا أَن تَقْتَصِلَ وَتُصَلِّ. It's for her to bathe and to pray and to fast, even if she have not bathed before the appearance of the Fajr. وَهَكَذَا لِلرِّجَالِ. Likewise for the man who has a relation with his wife in the nighttime, if he wakes up in his Fajr and he did not have suhoor, then that person should fast even though he has not bathed. And lastly, the suhoor. And some of the people are under the impression if they don't have suhoor, then they cannot fast that day. If they don't eat the morning meal or take something prior to fasting, then they cannot fast. This is not true. As the fasting is obligatory and the morning meal or taking something is mustahab, meaning recommended. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى وفقنا لما يحب الله ويرضى ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى يكتب لنا حسنات على ميزان يوم القيامة ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى يبلغنا شهر مبارك شهر رمضان and سميع الدعاء. We ask Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala to write a good deed for us on our scale for this gathering. And we ask Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to have mercy on us and bless us to see and meet the blessed month of Ramadan. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala Rasulil Kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathira. The remaining time, which is very short, a few minutes, the floor is open for questions. فليتفضل. Now people can unmute if they like and ask their questions. Barakallahu feek. Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu wa maghfiratuhu. Jazakumullahu khairan. Marhaban bikum. Welcome. And nasina akhta'na means if you do something out of forgetting or something on mistake. Forgetting is clear. We understand someone forgot and he did something, such as eating in the first day or two of Ramadan. Many people will forget, especially if they are used to eating at a certain time or if they're in the house or whatever like this. So that person, if he bites something or eats something or drinks something and remembers that he's fasting, then there's no sin on him, as Allah said, not to take us to task. And this means Allah is not going to take us to task. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have an excuse. And akhta'na, if we do something mistake, meaning we think that we're doing something right, we intend to do something right, but we err in that. Like, for example, we made the example of breaking the fast too early, thinking that it's time. And you're not trying to be slick or play games. You really think it's Maghrib. You misread the calendar, or the clock was wrong because the electric went off and someone reset it. They didn't set it accurately, and you think, okay, it's 5:30, it's time to break fast, but that clock is still 10 minutes slow. Then khalas, you are not responsible for that breaking of the fast early, and you complete your fast. Wallahu tabaraka wa ta'ala a'lam. Wa iyyakum jazakumullahu kulli khair. Questions. Barakallahu feekum. Mafi haga? No questions. Tayyib, alhamdulillah. Barakallahu feekum. Inshallah, tabarak wa ta'ala, this concludes our lesson for the fasting. Wallahu alam, what we will do on the next day, which is Sunday, and then barakallahu fikum next Wednesday. Maybe we will start tafsir from Zuzalat al-Nas. We're doing that in the masjid now, since we did al-Fatiha. Maybe we'll do that. Or maybe we'll take a book of Aqidah, or we'll take something in marriage or something. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Nas'al Allah hidayah wa tawfiq.